We're going to get started here. It is 9 o'clock on the west coast of Canada, 9:30 in the future PM in India. Um, Welcome everyone to the Thursday, October 2nd edition of our Vancouver Power BI and Modern Excel User Group Meetup. My name's Ken. I'm the host for today, and or well, as usual, I guess. But I did want to start off just a quick note. Thanks to the sponsors that make this happen. SkillWave is the training company that I run that teaches you how to work with Excel and Power BI and become amazing. If you haven't checked out courses, you definitely should. Excel Guru is the parent company of SkillWave and also the creator, distributor, support engine, all things Monkey Tools as well, which is my Excel add-in to help you build better solutions in Excel faster. Our next meetups that we have coming up in a couple of weeks, our Power BI track. We still haven't got our speaker announced on this, but I'm pretty sure I know who it's going to be right now. So stay tuned for news on that one. In a month, we've got Allison Policut is going to be coming to show us the simple magic of GoTo Special. And I'm actually looking forward to this one because I know when this was first pitched to me by the person that was organizing things, they're like, can you really fill an hour on GoTo Special? I'm like, it actually does a lot of things. So it's going to be really cool to see Allison focusing on that. So don't forget the RSVPs for both sessions are open, even though the speaker for the Power BI track right now is going to be a surprise. Just a quick note on Monkey Tools. The latest bug fixes were released about a month ago. I've still got some more stuff in the pipeline. Just haven't had time to actually take it over the end to be able to get it out there. But it's mainly quality fixes that we've been seeing in those. And we also want to let you know that we have a new product at SkillWave. We have actually separated out the Ask Ken Anything sessions into their own product. So if you're looking for just being able to get into an area where you can ask an expert about how to work with Excel or Power BI or get opinions or meet up with our community and get opinions from other people as well, this is a fantastic product. I really enjoy this. We just actually did one yesterday, a couple of hours we spent talking about things. I had a couple of questions submitted, and then my crew that's there let me fill an hour of just talking about Excel, and we explored all kinds of cool things. So it's a great little product to look at if you're interested in being able to connect with somebody, get a sanity check on the things you're building, get help with the things you're building. You should definitely check this out at SkillWave. The Ask Ken Anything subscription is, of course, included in our Excel Fundamentals Academy. If you're looking to upskill yourself or your team and just fill in a lot of knowledge gaps around Excel, this is a great program here. There's over 30 hours of training and coaching. Our Ask Ken Anything sessions twice a month. We've got recipes and all kinds of good stuff in here. It's a great program to definitely check out if you're looking to fill in those gaps, to say around formulas and pivot tables and data visualization and Power Query. If you already feel you know those things, the next step is to go into our self-service BI Academy. This is where we take Excel, Power Query, Power BI, and our dimensional modeling and pull it all together. It includes all of the Fundamentals Academy stuff. It includes the Ask Ken Anything sessions, my books, all kinds of great stuff here, even Monkey Tools. This is my flagship product here for people who are really serious about building amazing Excel and Power BI solutions. So definitely check that out if you have a chance. This meetup, as all meetups, will be recorded and is going to be hosted on the SkillWave YouTube channel. Once the recording is live, I usually get it up there in about 24 to 48 hours. Once it's live, then at that point in time, we will post on the meetup site so everybody gets a notification. Of course, if you're subscribed to the channel, you'll get notified that way as well. Last thing or penultimate thing I want to say here real quick is that if you want to come and speak to our user group, we would love to have you. We're always interested in getting new speakers on our stage. Just fill out the little survey here. You can grab the link if you're watching this later. Either type it in or you can pick it up at the meetup site. But get in touch with us, and we'd love to get you on our stage. And on that note, Aditya, welcome to the VanPug session here. I am going to stop sharing my screen right now, and just for folks here, the way that we are going to run the session today is this is really going to be more like, I guess, what we'd say is, I guess, kind of an interview style here. Aditya is going to let me quiz him on AI stuff and give his opinions around what's actually happening in this particular space here. I'm gonna make a very bold statement up front, Aditya. So just a quick. Do you want to introduce yourself? Do you want me to give you a quick intro? What's your preference here?
Yeah, if you give me if you intro me, then that's great, right? It will be an
Okay.
honor. So yeah.
All right, cool. So here's the deal. Aditya is an Excel MVP based out of India, and we've been exchanging messages quite a bit via a private WhatsApp group that we have on AI. And I'm going to make a bold statement here: is that Aditya is a huge fan of AI, loves AI, thinks AI is the future, and is a huge advocate for it. And then there's me, and my now I know that's not all true, so I'm going to let you actually defend that in a second. But my opinion on AI is a little bit more reserved. Some people would say I hate it. That's actually not true. But I am highly skeptical, I guess you would say, of certain things and certain pieces here. Um, so we're going to play this as an interview style as we go through today. Here, I'm going to ask a few questions. I'm just going to give his opinions on different things. I do have the chat window sitting open beside me as well. So if people want to put questions of their own into the chat, please feel free to do so. And that's my first part of the intro. And now, Aditya, I'm going to let you defend yourself after I just called you the world's biggest champion of AI.
Yeah, actually, honestly saying, I'm not advocate. I will clear that in a few seconds. But yeah, just let me do interview. Not interview. Let me just a second. Yeah, just let me introduce myself in a way. So yeah, as you know, I am Aditya. I work actually as a financial analyst at Profectus Learning and Talent Solutions Private Limited. My role is basically to create and automate financial processes, and now I am using AI as well inside those processes. But my primary role is, you can say, that building financial models for banks and investment banking and other financial institution completely with dynamic arrays, and that's what I'm excited to build things at Profectors. And my focus is mostly to help businesses to make decisions faster, so that finance teams can spend more time on the important work, because mostly they spend more time in Excel sheets crunching that data and doing things. But I want to help them in a way that, so that they can present narrative, they can present more insights to the stakeholders. And yeah, if my spreadsheets close, you will mostly find me gaming, reading books, creating content, and yeah, I'm a big fan of watching animes. So you can see, right? I am wearing Death Note here, and this was the first anime I watched, and I'm a big fan of Death Note anime. So yeah, Ken, I'm open for all of your questions now.
Awesome. And I just recognized Richard Nero is here. So welcome, Richard. Great to have you with us. I'm going to save your question just so you know here. So first question here that I want to throw out is what actually sparked your interest in AI in the first place? Why did you decide this was something that you wanted to start learning? What was it that got you inspired to start chasing this route?
So I will answer in two parts. So one of the things why have been obsessed. So in 2012, you can say that I watched the movie Iron Man, Tony Stark, right? And that's when it clicked me. Jarvis, you know, Jarvis was constantly talking with Tony. They were building stuff, and that's when I thought, yes, man, I need something like this. Who can keep talking with me? Because basically, I am like an introvert person. I read books, I build things. So I thought that yes, if I've got a companion who can help me out, right? So that can be good. But other than that, as I told you, I keep watching a lot of animes, and one of the animes which I really watched was Sword Art Online. So that is a Japanese anime, and the concept was that they created a game where you go inside a game. So the concept of AR and VR, where you go inside a game, right?
અને
And that's
I am busy. તને જે કરવું હોય કર. અત્યારના મને ક્વેશ્ચન છે.
sorry,
Hang on a second.
Rahul.
Got that one.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. So that was most fascinating for me because, as I told you, I am a hardcore gamer. You can say that. And I like to play MMORPG games, like to talk with people. And yeah, I spend like 18 hours when I'm not working. I spend like 18 hours in games. So that's when I got very curious. I started watching that anime more. And that's when I realized there was a concept of AI doing simulations, how you can do the immersive learnings. And that's when I've been big fan of AI since then, because I want a companion who thinks like me, who can do interactive talks with me. And when I'm building, or you can say that when I'm working here, they will be helping me out. Okay, again, I'm going in a taboo side. I shouldn't tell them that they, he, she, or whatever you want to say. So yeah, in this session, you will find me keep saying that, yeah, this is a person.
So I gotta tell you, this is kind of funny because a lot of people don't know about me that my free time I actually spend playing games as well.
Mhm,
But here's something that kind of makes me laugh a little bit because one of my favorite games to play right now is Cyberpunk 2077, which is not new or anything like that. I tend to be more of a solo gamer. I'm not into the MMOs. But the funny part to me is that the core thread that runs through that game is all about the dystopian effort and the how the world is burning down because of technology.
mhm.
And I'm like, okay, we're obviously gaming in different lanes on some of this, which is kind of funny. All right. How did you go and start embracing AI in your day-to-day work as a financial analyst?
So it started actually, you can say that in 2020 when I was watching an IFAC webinar. Yeah. And it happened there because I was pursuing CA, and that's when one of the IFAC directors said that AI is coming. Yeah. And I should understand more about it. And that's when I started. Actually, I transformed myself from going to finance to tech part. I started learning more about Excel, Power Query, automation, data scientist stuff, and all of those stuff, right? And because of that, you can say that I started embracing AI in my day-to-day workflows, where you can think of in this way. When I see like, okay, yeah, let's take example of this way. Yeah, I will give you very practical example. Let's take an example of a restaurant expense bill. Yeah, you receive an extra restaurant expense bill. Now, one thing happens is that if you use the if rule based approach, you will be normally categorizing it as an entertainment expense. Yeah, but that's where the things come, right? Now I can build an autonomous agent where task it. Yeah, is it for like CFOs, these directors have met in a restaurant, then I would be classifying it as a business meeting expense. Yeah, business expense. Is it for entertaining some client? Then of course it will be a marketing expense. Is it because is the expense related to celebrating some employees' birthdays? Then yeah, it will be an employee benefit expense. So that kind of thing wasn't possible earlier, you know. And now these ambiguous situations can be handled with AI. Again, human in the loop will be there, but these things can be done with AI where they can figure it out. Okay, why this expense was there? They can go and search in the ledgers properly. So that's what I am excited about. That yes, AI can solve a lot of things when it comes to finance. And again, there you can say that there is a paradox kind of thing because there are many repetitive works are there when it comes to finance, like invoicing, and the same invoicing you bill it as well in accounting system, then you pay it as well. So this can be handled with automation as well, but it comes again with approvals. Sometimes the CFO is not there, sometimes the leadership is changing. So can we build a autonomous agent that can help us in a way? So this is the thing which really excites me, you can say that, when I think from finance perspective. But again, this is right now a probabilistic model, but hope so in future it will be more like, yeah, we can make it more accuracy. Let's see.
So, so I'm curious, Aditya, just on that example of being able to classify an expense based on, hey, you know what, this was a business meeting versus a staff celebration, or what? How I struggle to see how a system would be able to get to that level of detail, right? Like, if I get an expense that comes through on my credit card, for example, and it's for a restaurant, I can certainly see the system being able to say, hey, that comes from a restaurant, and therefore it's a food and beverage expense, and therefore we're going to
Yeah.
put it to X place. But how, like, do you actually feel that you can get your AI to the point where it says, oh, well, this was because it was a meeting with this and this person? Like, uh, that doesn't come through on the credit card statement. It doesn't come through on the bill. So where would it get that kind of information to be able to make that cause?
So think of it that way, right? Our bank statement is sitting ideally in one of my storages in a PDF format, yeah. And my accounting entries are sitting inside a different ERP software. And sometimes we manage them all differently. But with AI, you can say that I can integrate those systems. Again, you need to build architecture in the first place so that AI can talk with each other. So I will be creating 2, 3 agents depending on what I'm trying to do. Then I will integrate them and ask it, okay, now go and search it inside the business expenses. If the you can say that the directors have met it, yeah, if the directors have met on this date and this is the date, so in a way it can identify. Otherwise, I have seen teams spending a lot of time just to reconcile these or categorize these expenses at in the first place, and then it comes boiled down to auditors. Then we have to verify again expenses and everything and realize, okay, this expense had been mm, not categorized properly, and we pass queries to these accountants, and again it's just a bit hassle, you can say that. Then accountants don't solve it, sometimes they solve it. So again, it is a lot of pain. So I feel this can be possible, and I've seen people doing it.
Okay, so this is just it's the integration of multiple systems, right? So you're basically saying
Yeah.
that the agent would need to have access to the credit card statement. It would need to have access to your calendar, or actually potentially multiple people's calendars, in order to be able
Yes.
to try and pull this thing out. Okay, fair enough. I guess that does make sense.
This is how
Um,
humans do as well. Yeah. So that's the concept of AI doing and bringing you information. That's the only part. Again, human need to review it again, but it will be now
yeah.
easier. Okay, if something like this is existing, otherwise human have got no idea if something has been existing or not.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, certainly in that case, I mean that is part of the, it's part of the month end, it's part of the reconciliation process, and it's tedious, and nobody loves coding their credit card statement, including myself. It sucks, and it is a massive time sink. There's no question. I guess the only part that makes me kind of nervous on that one is you look at it and go, holy cow, how much privacy do you have to give up in order to actually allow that kind of a scenario? But we're not going to go into that discussion because that's a whole different rabbit hole that I think would take us off where we want to be. But these are the kind of things that I'm just like, man, scares me. Anyway, let's talk about. So I think it's probably really good. What was the biggest misconception you had about AI before you started, and how did it change?
Honestly saying, I insulted it. I insulted it a lot when I started using AI first time. I used to insult it, but then I realized, okay, this is the problem not with AI, but with me, because I don't understand how to ask the right questions in the first place. Yeah. So you can say that, yeah, that was my biggest misconception with AI. And then you can say that one of the things which I really struggled after a few months as well, I fall in love with AI, because there was like, you are absolutely right. Yeah, that's a mind blowing question. This happens because of the psychopathic nature of GPT-4 model. So I started feeling like, yeah, this is kind of a person. I started using he, she kind of thing. Then that's when I realized that, am I losing my thoughts, or am I really learning with AI in the first place? So that's when I stopped using AI, then started reading more of my the books. Yeah, you can say that that was my misconception. And again, when you don't have good masters with you, you are learning self learning. Then yeah, you get into those kind of troubles. But yeah, I will talk more about that. What skills you will need so that you don't fall in my traps as well. Because honestly saying, AI is really really simple. If you know a few concepts, then yeah, it is so much simpler. And yeah, again, coming back, one more thing, as the title of this session, yeah, how to compete with AI and win. So what happened was that this title I dedicated to Dharmesh Shah, who is co-founder of HubSpot. So he posted this question on LinkedIn: how to compete with AI and win. Yeah, and my initial thought was that I need to compete with AI. Yeah, because see, AI is if AI start doing my task, then it will replace me in the first place. And that was my biggest misconception, you can say that. When I thought that, yeah, AI is going to replace me, that's when I started insulting it more, you can say that. Yeah. But when I watched his TED talk properly, that AI is not going to replace me. Again, it will replace my 80% of tasks. That's fine enough. But the 20% of tasks where I've got domain expertise, where I have got a responsibility and those tasks, it has improved me a lot. So yeah, that's the thing.
Okay, let's talk about domain expertise. I'm gonna just sort of riff off a question here in the chat from Nitesh here on this one here. you're obviously more of a finance pro. That's your background. What steps did you take to learn AI, build your domain expertise in the AI fields, and where did you actually start from when you're doing this?
So okay, that's a good question. So I will say that. Do you want to talk more about that? What AI skills you will be needing in the future, and what human skills will be needing?
Yeah, I
Uh,
think I think I think we'll get there for sure. I mean,
mhm.
I guess the first part of the journey on this whole thing though is like, I mean, how do you even crack open this can and where do you start, right? I mean, that's the first piece. So, do you want to talk about what skills you think you're going to need first, or do you want to
No,
follow?
no, I can talk more about it then. So I think, see, AI is an experimental skill right now because it is a general purpose technology. So there is no right now books, there is no proper education out there, and the education which is out there is completely for AI builders, AI architectures. So there is a very execution gap when it comes to non-technical guys. So I will say that just start conversing with AI. Just ask it, okay, I have asked you this question. How could I have asked you much better question in the first place? Yeah. So that's what I do as well. So when I started talking with AI, I used to, like, as I told you, I used to insult AI, but then I realized, okay, let me ask it how much it knows. Yeah. If I am properly asking it the right question, so I will give you one of the examples. So few days back, I was asking it that exclude those transactions which has got reversal entries and exclude the original entries in the first place. Now, this is kind of a technical language, and lawyers and legal people and finance people are aware of that. That I need to exclude both the original entries and the reversal entries. Yeah, but that's when I asked AI, see, you are making it confusing. Yeah, so how can I improve my wordings? So that's when it gave me guidelines that Aditya, if you write your language in this format, then I can do follow your steps like this way. And it came up with very brilliant answer. So my first idea is that just start talking with AI. That's it. You can talk with, now voice mods are there. Just start talking with AI and just understand that how they are predicting it. What words should you use for this particular case in the first place? Should you use summarize? Should you use like just extract the idea? Should you use give me a brief report? Give me 5 pointers? That's kind of thing. So that will help you out a lot.
So I'm curious on this one because I mean, so I've seen a lot of advice. I mean, and this has happened over the past few years, right? I mean, there's been so many different people coming up with different frameworks for prompting. You should prompt with this, you should prompt with that, and it's all about the language that you use for these things. And I remember myself going back after having an extremely frustrating conversation with AI that made me question my own ability as to whether or not I knew how to speak English or not. And at the end of it, once I finally got to the place that I wanted to be, I said, "What should I have asked you to get to this output?" And it came back and it gave me the answer, and I said,
Yeah.
"Fantastic!" So I went to a new chat window and I pasted in exactly what it said, and it gave me completely the wrong answer. I'm like, "Oh my god! Like, what? How does this help?" Like, when you're doing this, and I mean, like, there's a couple of things I sort of wanted to go down with this one here, but I guess the question is for me is, what do you feel is your hit or miss rate with these kind of things? And is this normal as you're going through that it tends to give you stuff that makes you wonder if you're even actually able to frame your thoughts properly? Because I mean, I've run into that multiple occasions where I'm like, is this me, or is it like, or like, how can I not communicate with you when you're supposed to be really smart, right? Is there
So
a
as I
question in
told
that? I don't
you,
even know.
no, 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 no. I know what you mean. So yeah, this is the thing which happens a lot. So there are I you can say that it will be a bit technical, but there are two kinds of models. You can say that one is they just want to throw answers at you. The moment you prompt it, they don't think, they don't reason, they just throw it out the output you have asked. That's on their system. And another one, which models are what I call it thinking models. Yeah, so they will reason through everything. They will see, okay, I am giving this answer, but oh my God, I am going in bad. I am going in the wrong path in the first place. So that's where I mostly use the thinking models in the first place. As I told you, I used to use offer model, not offer. 4.0 model, that is GPT 4.0 model, and 4.1, and they were completely disgusting in the first place. I hated them, and that's when I started using O3 model, O4 mini model, and the thinking models mostly. You can say that, and they give me very good answers. Even I couldn't have solved a few of them. And again, it boils down to how you prompt it in the first place. So mostly when I write my prompts, I don't go and ask the non-thinking models to write me prompts. I give them properly. See, this is the cookbook and this is the format I want, and I'm going to use this technique, and now write this prompt for me. And when they write it, my hit rate is 80%. I get 80% right answers mostly. And again, if it is so much complex in the first place, then I know AI cannot solve it. Like I will give you a very good example. The list dot transform many functions. Yeah. So there is so much little content on the web about how to use this function. Very few people know this function properly, including Zoran and me. So I asked it. Okay, I even provided all those documents, but still it get answers wrong. Then I wrote the formula myself. And one time it happened, I was creating a lambda in Excel, and it gave answer everything wrong in the first place. The answers were 80% is right, but the way it created the formula in the first place was wrong in the first place. The base was wrong in the first place. So I created it myself. That's where you can say that domain expertise will come. So sometimes you need to identify that where AI is good and where AI is not really good in the first place. Yeah. So that's what I'm pushing AI, that how good it is in the first place.
How do you know, right? Because I mean, let's be honest, right? The over promising and under delivering has been a theme of how AI has been released to the world, right? I mean, when we look at like what Microsoft is doing with these things, it's like, look, we're going to put this tool in everywhere. We're going to raise the price because it's so great, and then the experience of using it tends to be something a little bit different. Particularly, and I'm going to call out one product specifically on this. Historically, Excel's version of what's actually happening in Copilot has really been not good. It's probably the worst of all of the Copilot products that are out there, which is not going to make me popular with the Excel team, but that's my honest opinion of what's actually there. So, when we pitch these tools, I mean, I kind of look at this and I'm going, all right, so I'm a professional that understands what I'm trying to do here. So to me, I'm finding these things very frustrating because it can't answer hard questions. Having said that, I question, why do people ask it easy questions, or even if there are easy questions, because everybody's question is hard to them in general sense. So how is it that somebody who may not have that domain expertise is using this thing? How are they able to identify that the output that's coming out is good or is bad?
So that's one of the skills you need to have now. The test part that I will talk a bit later, but test is going to be important, where you can just view the output of AI and just realize it. Okay, this is a good output or not in the first place, and that is going to be one of the jobs moving forward, where you will be reviewing the output of AI if it is good or not. Yeah, I will give you one more example on that. So what happened was I was preparing one of the revenue models just for my fun purposes, and I asked AI that give me a lambda formula, and I asked not one AI, okay, ChatGPT, Claude, Copilot, then you can say the DeepSeek, then Perplexity as well, and I think Gemini as well. All of these five ones answered with make array formula and all of these big answers. Yeah, and I realized this is not good in the first place. Yeah, they are all producing the same answer, and maybe this is going to be the right answer. Then I turned off my laptop and then I walked away, walked on just jogging and everything. So that's when my idea hit. Yeah, this is very simple in the first place, and I built that formula in just 40 characters. Yeah, and it works so much smooth compared to what AI gave me the output. So again, it is your intuition, it is your the more you will converse with AI, you will understand that is it the person is just bluffing, or is the output really good in the first place. That's where now I feel that you now need to have more domain expertise. You need to have the first principles, the very deep concepts that uh, if AI is right in the first place. So that's my takeaway.
I've come to the conclusion that the nicer the model is to me, that's a great idea, Ken, the less I trust it.
Yeah,
So,
that don't trust it.
all right. So, what skills do you think are going to be critical for someone as they build their career today in the AI era?
Yeah. So 5 skills that feel like I should have learned it from Ethan Malik before. These 5 skills are going to be very, very important. First one is prompt engineering and context engineering. Prompt engineering, you can say that how to ask right question to AI, and that's it. So if you can ask right question, the AI is going to give you a right output. But prompts give you generic answers, yeah, because AI has been trained on generic answers. That's when you need to curate your content properly so that uh, the AI gives you answer depending on the business context in the first place. So that's where context engineering comes. Then is reg. Now, the skills which I'm going to speak here are kind of sounding technical, but again, they are very useful as finance people. I will give you a few more examples as well. So prompt engineering, context engineering, first part. Second one is reg. So reg is retrieve. I think I speak only reg only. Just give me a second. Uh, I forgot. Yeah, retrieval augmented generation. So what it is in the first place. So you can say in a better way that let's say you have got 1,000 pages PDF. Yeah. Now AI cannot read it all. So that's where you need to provide the content in a way that AI can search the content properly. So let's say you have got an insurance contract where one of the clause is saying that read the clause number 20 and read with the clause number 20 and there are liabilities or kind of that. Yeah. So again, AI needs to identify that I need to read the clause number 1 and at the same time I need to read the clause number 20, and that's how you need to upgrade yourself. Then the third skill which is really important is vectorized data set. Now, why I'm telling you this is one of the most important skill because AI has been trained like that. The models have got weights because of vectorized data sets in the first place. Yeah. So that's where is important because I will give you very simple example. Ken, what will you think, right? If I speak that there is king and there is queen. Yeah. What will you think?
Monarchies.
Yeah. Okay. That's a very
or
simple
or
way.
or chess. I mean, it would be
Yeah.
another. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
So that's the thing, right? So let's talk two examples then. So king, so how AI understands that king is something different. So it will give it parameters like he's the ruler, he's going to be an emperor, something you can say that he's the head of the entire country, then he's masculine, right? Now, when it comes to queen, it won't understand that way, but again, she is the head of that. She will just simply understand that king minus masculinity is equals to queen. That's it. So this is how vectorized data sets work. They kind of do semantic relationship kind of thing. Yeah, so that you get the right output. And again, to give you a better example, let's say I'm writing this sample. Let's say there is a sentence and then the word is something like this apple. Yeah. Now, how it can identify that is it a fruit or is it a company? Yeah, if the person is talking about the company, that's where they have built kind of relationships, and that's where vectorized data sets come into picture. Yeah, and our fourth skill, what you can say that again, I don't want to forget. Hmm. Agent orchestration. So this is one of the most important skills which I really feel in the moving world, where you need to understand more about the MCPs, the agents to agents of framework, where you need to ask AI that, see, you have got 5 tools. How can I say that? Let's say can in this way. So let's say I've got brain, right? So my brain is signaling to my hand that go and talk like this way. Yeah. My brain is signaling to my leg that Aditya need to move from here to there. Yeah. So that's the thing with LLM as well. They have got 5 bunch of tools where they can go and search on the web. They can go and retrieve the information as well. They can go and read it as well. They can go and ask it that, yes, this is the financial data set and I need to use this way. So that's one of the important things to learn, that how agent orchestrate as well. And final thing, and which is going to be really, really important, presenting stories to the stakeholders, delivering data narratives to the stakeholders. That is going to be very important moving forward. So now I think most of my time, which used to spend more on researching part and everything, my AI is handling that part. My focus is more on the creative side, that how can I uh, converse more with this person, how can I understand more about the business logics, the business acumen, the business context, how can I learn more about this industry, those kind of things. So that's where my focus is right now.
Okay, so we got the technical part is the upfront, and then is the interpretation of the results is basically
Yeah.
the okay, fair enough. Yeah. So how can someone who is just starting their career put them into a place where they can thrive in this AI driven world? What do you see as important there?
Again, you can say that right now. I think these both questions are kind of similar, only what skills you will need. But I think more importantly, now you need to focus more on the human skills as well. Yeah, curiosity driven. You can say that critical thinking part. You need to understand how to solve those problems in the first place. You need to get unique perspective as well. And then again, if you want to say that how can they build their career, now the focus will be more on building personal relationships, because now you can see that everyone is like the I think uh, this what company was that which released those results recently, that students are firing their resumes, not firing, but yeah, shooting their resumes, build it with AI, you can say that made with AI, and companies are again reading those resumes with AI. Yeah. So that's when your personal connections will help you out. And one more important thing, now, earlier, people were impressed when you have written that code. Yeah. That you have built something. Now the focus will be why did you build in that way, particular way? What decisions you took that you should use Python compared to using TypeScript? Let's say, take an example. Why did you use VBA compared to using Power Query? These decisions will show you that yes, these are important moving forward. So it will show you your decision making and abilities. And one thing I will say that when because now I am using 5 to 6 AI tools daily, so you can say that now the importance will be more about managing those AI tools in the first place moving forward. So treat AI kind of a person, your coworker, something like that, and how you delegate that task depending on the LLM you are going to use. So these skills will be very much relevant moving forward. Not skills, but yeah, you need to thrive in that way.
So I laugh when you say, like, you need to build your interpersonal skills, and I feel that every accountant and tech geek out there is going, "Oh my God, no, not that!" Right? We want to avoid that. That's why I use a computer in the first place. So I mean, I guess that kind of ties in, right? So like when you sit here and you think about your senior professionals that have experience working with these things, the fact that they actually have a broad experience across the tech stack with different languages, different components, is where their value really becomes important, because now you can actually
Exactly.
look at it and say, why was one tool taken versus this one over here? And one would hope that the answer isn't, well, I don't know, that's what Copilot built for me. Right.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's interesting. And I mean, I'll share with my own sort of experience in this. I mean, I do use some AI tools for certain processes and tasks. I've had more experience with it working with programming than anything else, and it's been really interesting in certain cases when I'll catch myself working with something, trying to ask a question that I haven't really thought through as maybe as much as I should, and the AI comes back with this answer, and I'm looking at it, I'm going like, this is so complicated. I'm not sure I follow it. And then you go back and say, can you please simplify this into something that makes more sense? And then they give you something else, and you look at it and go, well, it's definitely simpler, but it's still like is confusing to me. And then you look at it and go, why don't I just write a formula for this? And there's a process there that you sort of go through and realize that sometimes it gets really over engineered. And I hate it when I catch myself doing that, because I'm like, how many trees did I burn down to make that process work? But I think you're right. I mean, it's that domain expertise to be able to go back and challenge what's actually there. I do worry today, and I will tell you this flat out. I read articles day after day about how we are seeing a massive unemployment amongst the youth in our organizations, because people
Yep.
are not hiring those people to actually bring them in and give them experience. And this really scares me for the long-term viability and what's going to happen to the GDP of our nations as people are not getting the experience. Then we're going to see people retire, and we're shrinking the cognitive control of our workforce, or not control, but cognitive abilities of our workforce. It really, really, really concerns me. But again, I don't want to take us down the negative tangent on it, but I think it is something that we definitely need to keep in mind here. Let's talk.
Yeah,
So
adding
yeah,
more to your point, Ken, I will give my perspective as well, and this is what my boss shared with me a few months back. See, right now companies are not hiring the junior analysts, right? And I fear a lot because they are thinking that they give AI tool to seniors and they will do the work. But what if these seniors leave in the first place? Now, no one knows about the business, no one knows that how to uh, work with clients, so that how can I properly say that? The night spent by juniors at work when they get scolded by their seniors, yeah, that's how we learn, right? So I will give you very simple example because I have been building something with at Profectors. So what used to happen is I will give tell to my boss that, see, I built something like this. Then he will push me, Aditya, can we do something like this way as well? So he keep pushes me, yeah. If he doesn't push me, if he doesn't train me in the first place, maybe tomorrow I won't have those capabilities in the first place. Then again, it is like a bit of scary situation, and I am feeling that as well because my college friends are really finding it hard. You can say that. So yeah,
hmm,
that's really true.
absolutely. All right, I want to switch the conversation a little bit here, and I want to move into the realm of agents because we've got questions coming in on the chat on this. We saw on Excel's 40th birthday that Microsoft released a new Excel agent feature, and it's going to change the world and it's going to do everything, and you're never going to need to work with Excel again, and other messaging that I disagree with. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to seed the conversation that way. But let's talk about agents generally. How do you? So I know from my own stuff and from having conversations with Nipat that you have been embracing agents for a while. This is not something that when we see Excel come out with something that says, hey, we now got this with Copilot, this agent, or whatever else. You've been doing this for months at least, in using other
Mhm.
tools like Claude and different things along the way. So there's some experience here that I want to sort of tap into here. How are you seeing that AI agents are changing the way that work gets done, especially in finance and analytics?
They are changing, really, really changing. I will give you a very simple example. Even the deep research which we guys use, yeah, on for analyzing something, that is again agent orchestration only. So it figures out, it goes on web, search it, it thinks it, not thinking but predicts it. It cites as well. It provides you. It curates the information as well. It fetches the information as well. So these kind of things are really happening, but there is a big AI slop as well. You can say that so recently, there are two reports. I forgot the report which you mentioned about the AI slop, but yes, a lot of companies have produced like thousands of pods with agents and everything, and now they don't know how to read it in the first place and what are the security loopholes in the first place. Yeah, so AI slop is also there, but again, there is an interesting case study, or not case study, but paper released by OpenAI last week. What they did was, so there are two ways. Okay, I am going a bit tangent, but yeah, you can understand in this properly way. So there are two ways, that how AI will impact the work culture, and AI agents will impact the work culture. So again, society is not going to embrace AI just in one next year. Yeah, so it will take time. Again, even in India today and many parts of world, there are people who still don't know about internet. Yeah, they are not on internet. So that's the thing. So again, it is not like every company will embrace AI in the first place. So it will take like 10 to 15 years. I hope so. I don't know, but yeah, let's hope so. 10 to 15 years. So what OpenAI did is they created a different set of idea that how much if there is a person who is 14, 15 years of experience, yeah, if this task is done by human and by AI and AI and human together, how good they are. And the results are like jaw dropping, you can say that. Some of the LLMs, I will speak more about the thinking models, they did the work so brilliantly. They reduced the work like anything. You can say that for 80%, for 80x times. The cost has been reduced. So that's a good idea. But how they suffered was, you can say that even the Claude Opus 4.1 model, it was so good. Even the research paper was for of OpenAI only, but Claude they included Claude as well, and it did really well. So moving forward, as I told you in the beginning as well, you now need to understand that where AI is good at, and more importantly, where AI is not good at. And AI is currently not good at solving those complex problems in the first place. So AI is really good at solving those individual tasks. But if I say it properly, I've taken my example as well. So let's say I am financial modeler, yeah. So I can write those formulas with AI. But will AI do all of my entire job? The answer is no, actually, because there is things like my liability. If my model fails, yeah, if I have prepared the model, there are lots of errors in the first place. Then client is going to blame me. Client is going to sue. Of course, they can sue me in the first place. Yeah, so that responsibility is not there with AI. Then AI is not good when it comes to uncertainty. So there is one interesting reading I was reading a few days back. AI is good at predicting the next word it's supposed to say, but it doesn't know how the real world works in the first place. Yeah, so uncertainty AI is not good at. I need to do a lot many tasks regarding like let's say how should I converse with leadership, how to ask them that they need to follow this strategy in the first place. Yeah, that AI cannot do. So agents, they can take a few tasks. I'm happy because I never wanted to do in the first place. But again, it helps me to focus more on the 20% task, which is really crucial. And that's where it is increasing my value.
So I want to sort of just throw out there and tie into this because I mean, we sort of talk about how it can increase our value. We talk about how it can help us with different things, but at the same time, some of the contrast that we see right now is we see CEOs laying people off in droves, saying, "Hey, we can replace you with AI," and then you get something like the new Excel Copilot agent that just came out the other day. And I mean, I've seen some different videos of things. Bill Jelen posted his first look at this thing here, and he's like, "Hey, I built this model and it churned away for 5 minutes, and okay, it turned out a thing with a table that I asked it to build, and it turned out this thing, and it merged cells instead of centering cross selection," which is the kind of thing that you and I would look at and go, "Well, that's just not the way it
Yes,
should be done." And
exactly.
we focus on those kind of things. But then a follow up comment from Bill in his LinkedIn post was, "I did another one, and this thing, I hit OK on the prompt, and it ran for 17 minutes, and then it went back and generated something for me and whatever else." And I mean, I look at these kind of things and I'm like, okay, well, this is kind of interesting, right? Because I mean, this is where I start to understand, and actually it's funny because I've never put this together originally as to what this meant, but agentic AI being AI driven by agents, which is fair. So this is where we're starting to see an example of this happening. And when I look at that, I'm going, okay, so is this complementing me, or is this one of these things that now a CEO looks at and goes, well, hey, the system can do it. We don't actually need a person there anymore. We'll just, get rid of that. What's your take on these kind of solutions that you've got there as far as the model being able to go and replace a human for build me a financial analysis? Go. What do you think? Like,
No, no, can do it. Can do it. Honestly saying, it can do it. There is a reason behind that because I will say that they are very good at development phase, but not production phase, at least at the moment. So after 2, 3 years, or maybe after 6 months, if they can come up, great. I will give a very practical example. So I asked AI because I've been now benchmarking Excel tools with the FMWC cases which I have been participating. Yeah. So I asked it, see, this is the challenge and solve it. Okay. And when I solved it by myself, it took me around 20 minutes to solve it. Okay. But when AI solved it solved it in 4 or 5 minutes. Yeah. But why did I say that this model is just for production phase? When I looked at the formulas, the first version, which I got from AI, what did it do? It When I said that the model is for 5 years, it did manual calculations inside the let function, and it did for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and 5 years. Okay, that kind of thing. But I would never do that in the first place, yeah, because I know that today it might be 5 years, maybe I will be projecting it for next 10 years. That can happen, yeah. So AI is not good at. And another thing what really happened was when I asked it that build now model instead of the let formulas, it hard coded those values. the COGS percentage, it hard coded 25% in the first place. I would never ever do that because I know this is a key parameter, or you can say that assumption, and I need to change it moving forward. So again, they are really good at, you can say that, okay, Ken is working at right now at client's place, he is building something, but he has got his deep passion, something to build inside AI. Or right now I'm building my second brain. So what I will do is I will run AI and just ask it, okay, now cook it for me. Yeah, then I will start working on the client project and do the work. Then after doing the client project or maybe taking a break, I will come here, see it for 5 minutes. Okay, this is good. Now cook it again. I need this particular situation. So that's where you can see that earlier it was not possible for you, right? Because you have been um, just working for clients. You couldn't take out time for your personal projects. But now I can do that, and I am doing it. I did my LinkedIn research analysis. I asked it that build the entire system, you do the analysis, and see that if my posts are adhering to my style, kind of writing style, give me ideas as well. It did the entire analysis. My code was running when I went to doctor, and when I came back I got the full analysis for me. And recently I am focusing more on the building my second brain, so I've got like 300 of my images, you can say that, where I took it from screenshots from Rick D. Groot, from your channel, where I watched them, and they were all in very very bad shape, you can say that. The names were very different, and I was like, man, how can I now create notes out of it in the first place? I asked AI, okay, what you do is just read those images in the first place and rewrite those names and organize them properly in these folders. And then I asked AI again that write these notes. And when I read these notes, yeah, that's great. I realized this is so much good. And I was earlier procrastinating, but now I can do those things. And at least it is helping me out in a way. So agentic AI, yeah, this is helping me a lot in my personal work life, like anything.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's a comment from Scott that I just want to sort of read into this as well about Bill's longer version of his stuff was eye opening. He says, and so Scott says, but for experience here, I can see it taking more time to verify results than just writing it from scratch. The concern is giving the tool to
Mhm.
someone who has no idea how to verify the formulas and outputs are correct. And I actually find this really kind of interesting because I mean I've been thinking about this over the last couple of days. I was sort of preparing for this session and whatnot too. And this is one of the things I think that actually is a part that really concerns me about, sort of pushing something out to this agentic thing and saying, here, go, you go work for half an hour or whatever else. I'm going to completely flip out of my ADHD brain and go work on something shiny over here and then come back over to look at it later on and try and figure out what it did. I mean, the way that I build things, the process that I go through is that I actually believe that building up that spreadsheet or solution myself from scratch, breaking it down into the individual subtasks, is what actually gives me the confidence that it's working correctly or it's not. And then this is one of those things that I sort of see with these tools when we sort of outsource that part, is that we don't have that same sense of confidence, and we're now going back and reviewing things and whatnot. And I'm pretty sure it wouldn't come as a major surprise to people to say reviewing someone else's work is not my favorite thing to do. Right.
Yeah.
Because and I'm sure a lot of us would feel that way, is it's really hard to do. Nobody, like everybody gets bored reading the pages and pages of synopsis. I think Bill's, in his case, he said it was like, I don't know, there was 17 pages. I think he said, or 17 pages of chats. I'm like, God, who wants to read that? Right. So, at any rate, yeah, but it is interesting. I mean, like, and again, accelerating the ability for somebody to go and build something and work in that way, I just find it kind of weird because it's a completely different way of working that actually makes me uncomfortable. And I don't know if that's just uncomfortable because it's different, or if it's uncomfortable because it's breaking a process that I had in place that worked for me. And I'm still trying to run that through my own head. So,
Yeah, then sorry, I want to interrupt here. So this is where one of the skills is going to be really important, thinking skills, and that's what I am doing right now at whenever I do work. I write a PRD. When like, how can I say that? I write the entire PRD. My prompts are like 5 to 10 pages long. I ask it that, see, these are my tasks. This is how you need to do and do this way. And that's it. So now it is going to follow my instructions in the first place. So again, it is going to be hard because first you need to jot down all of your thoughts in the first place, and then ask AI that now go and cook it in the first place. Yeah. So that's how you learn in a way. So I feel that my thinking has actually improved a lot, because earlier I used to do one task, and now I visualize the entire big picture and break down that task in the first place, and then fulfill it. That, see, let's go there.
Okay, for the next question here, I'm actually going to roll two together from the chat here. One of them was around what are your preferred AIs, and do you have to use or pay for the pro versions of them? The second question is going to come from Richard Nero, who has asked something really technical, and I'm not even sure I know what all these things mean. So he says, you've mentioned the RAG algorithm. Have you had any success with CUA, which I have no idea what that is, or MCP, which is
Even
Model
not me.
Context Protocol? So yeah, let's talk about first the tools. What tools do you use, and do you need the pro versions of them?
I mostly use, because I'm in India right now, so I mostly use the ChatGPT version, so ChatGPT Plus version. And it is so good because I can use Codex as well. I can use it for inside my VS Code as well, and I can use it to cook a lot of things, deep research, the projects part, the custom agents part. So I really like of that. But now I'm thinking to go towards Claude AI, because I want to test the Sonnet 4.5, which just released this Tuesday. So I really want to test it because its artifacts are so good, and it is so good at when it comes to MCP. It really calls very good, the tools and everything. So I like it. And I don't know about CUA myself. I never heard of it. So can you
Fair
explain
enough.
more about?
No, you know what? We'll just get Richard to come and do a session for us where he can explain it. I think that's probably the way to go because we still got lots of
Yeah.
stuff to talk about here. So, Richard, I'll be calling you. He says computer use. Okay, fair enough. We'll table that one for another time because we still got more questions to go here. We're getting close to our time here. So, um, what AI projects are you most excited about right now, and why?
Building AI agents, building autonomous agents which can do tasks for me. Like I can build an Aditya myself who will be doing those tasks for me when I can work on my important tasks. So that's what I really like. You can say that earlier I used to use these technologies like a car. I don't know about how to build that car in the first place. I will be just using it like F1 or whatever you want to say. Yeah, so I was focused that, and that's how my work had been. But now I am really interested in building something, building AI agents to learn more about how AI is working in the first place, and how can I make a digital Aditya in the first place. So that's my take. As I told you in the beginning, I want to create Javis for me, who can think for me, not think for me, but yeah, who can execute task which I give it. Thinking part I want to do. I want to read a lot of books and again play a lot of games.
All right. How do you stay current with AI when it changes every week, every day, every hour? How can you stay on top of this?
Sort of. It is not easy. It is not so easy. So I watch a lot of YouTubers. You can say that one is Ned Jones, Netejones, and then there is Ethan Malik. He's really good, and I have subscribed a bunch of newsletters like Neuron AI, AI News, and other bunch of stuff which gives me information that this is happening in the AI space. But again, you need to do the grinding part. I grinded for like 1 hour, 1 year now, and now I understand these concepts very easily because, as I told you, I just focused only on those 5 skills. I wanted to learn about the AI architecture, that how LLMs work in the first place. And because of that, now things are very easy. Whether you go for Mac.com, Anatane, or any other tool, you get a general idea that, okay, this model is based on this kind of version. Then again, you can sift it. So I think my focus has never been on tools mostly. My focus has been learning those essential first principles, the 20% part, which is going to be relevant for next 5, 6 years. And you can say that that's why when you said in the beginning that Aditya is an AI advocate, you can say that I'm one of the most how can I properly put that right word? I got it in Hindi. I've got one of the most fearful personality because I know that I have just started my career in the first place, right? So I need to figure it out that where AI is good at and where AI is not good at so that I can plug in myself in that wall cohort so that companies pays me, yeah? Someone can pay me. So that's my take. I am never a big advocate for AI. I feel that yes, AI shouldn't develop in the first place moving forward. Yeah, but again, AI is going to be developing. So my focus is that how can I build my skills in a way that tomorrow people will know that okay, there is one person Aditya from India who knows his stuff very well, and we are going to hire him. So that's kind of thing.
So, speaking of building your skills, let me ask you this then. Are you focusing specifically on building your AI skills? Or are you also looking at how do I build my skills around, say, for example, Excel's general tech stack, right? Like, how much effort do I put into learning Power Query? How much effort do I put into learning Python and Power Pivot and VBA and Office scripts and Excel formulas and dynamic arrays? And I can go on and on and on because there's so many parts to Excel. But
Yeah.
how much time and effort do you put into learning those skills in order to be able to validate what's going on inside the AI when it gives it back to you? Is that important, do you believe?
Yep. I have posted it many times on my YouTube, or not YouTube, but LinkedIn, that going forward, you need to understand more deeply about Excel, what are dynamic arrays, because AI can bluff it to you, right? Yes, the make array function will work here, the map function will work here, but it doesn't work in the first place. Yeah. So you need to understand deeply those concepts. But as I told you, I think I never learned it from a tool perspective. I learned it from a language perspective. Yeah, so if I'm learning Japanese, let's say I am learning Japanese, I will be learning those alphabets in a way that tomorrow I can use those alphabets to learn Chinese as well. Yeah, so if I'm learning English, I want to understand that how can I use it to learn different language as well. So my kind of learning is that. So when I learned Power Query, I learned it from the perspective of not using just the 5, 6 techniques. I learned it, okay, why recursion is needed here. Yeah, while list accumulate is similar to Python's list.append in the first place, yeah, the for loop, I learned it from the very first principles. So when I switched from Power Query to Python, it was so much easier for me to understand. Similarly, the dynamic arrays concept, yeah, building those lambdas. So now I'm not learning skills like, okay, Excel is this. Again, you can go and focus more on Excel only, but I want to learn it like that. Excel, I spent like 10,000 hours. Power Query, I spent like 5,000 hours. But Python, I'm happy spending just 500 hours. That's it. And then I want to understand that how can I prompt it well? What things can be done with Python? And I know that I'm not going to be one of the smart guys, but at least I want to know that what things I can do with Python. So my focus is mostly, if I say properly, communication skills, then it will be financial skills, then it will be technical skills. And on the top, AI that is going in parallel way. So these three skills and parallel skills, they are moving towards.
So I want to sum this up in this. If somebody came to you and said, I don't need to learn how to use this product because I can just get AI to do it. True or false?
False. I'm not going to believe it because they have got no idea where they can fall in traps. Because honestly saying, let's say I don't know about Python, I don't know about TypeScript. If I am building a website with it, how do I know that what are the security loops? Anyone can breach in the data and anyone can take out my data. My client is not secured in the first place. So yeah, I've not built. That's why I'm not built anything when it comes to Python. But yes, I know that okay, these things are possible with AI, so I can cook it something for me only, for my satisfaction only, and I can do something. Yeah, so I'm not going to publish it to the outer world, but for me only. Yeah, so that's the
Yeah.
curiosity part.
Give you a fun little sidebar. I was teaching a workshop to somebody, and somebody came up to me. We had a discussion about AI because it's impossible to avoid a discussion about AI today anywhere you go. And this guy says, "Yeah, my buddy, he was vibe coding a website, and he built his own shopping cart." And in the background, he stores all of the credit card information in an Excel file that's sitting on a computer or is sitting on his own desktop server. And I'm just like, oh, that sounds like a massive security risk. He says, 100% it is. He says, but the guy's like, hey, it's working. And I'm like, Oh wow. But this is the part that scares me, right? Is how people apply these tools and where we've now enabled people to go very quickly without understanding the ramifications. And it's like, how long before someone's credit card gets compromised? How long before the person gets sued? Not knowing, like, it's awful. So you know what? I actually want to ask you a question here, and maybe we can use this to sort of sort of round up the discussion for today here. What scares you most about where AI is headed right now?
The privacy part. The privacy part. It should know me, but at the same time, it shouldn't interfere my personal life. It should understand that, okay, how I do the things, but it shouldn't understand that how do I think. Yeah. And it is going to be very, very important moving forward, because the way the Sora came, right? Now people can create videos for you. You have got no idea. Yeah, what are deep fakes? You've got no sense of reality now. So that's where I am pretty scared that what will happen moving forward, because I've seen my friends who have completely outsourced their thinking process to AI. They think that if AI cannot solve it, they cannot solve it. But we are humans, yeah. We have got so much potential in the first place. So they kind of have completely outsourced their thinking. So at the end of the day, I feel like this is what I have been saying for 5 years lately, that yep, use technology to upgrade yourself, not update yourself. Think of it like, are you really getting something out of it, and is it improving your life, or are you getting slave of it? Yeah. So that's my takeaway. So as I told you, when I started using AI, my first focus was how can I use it for emotional purposes? Yeah. How can I write content that is emotionally appealing? And that's when I thought that, okay, are these my thoughts, or is AI now biasing me towards these thoughts in the first place? Yeah. And that's when I stopped using AI. I read like 60 books. And then, yeah, I'm saying that because I like reading a lot. So I read 60 books, only the fictional part. And then I dumped those learning skills to my AI. Now my AI is writing answers the way I want, not the other way around. So that is what is very much fearful to me, that people are outsourcing their thinking, and deepfakes are real. People are using it in a bad, very bad way.
Yeah, and I'd agree with you. I mean, my primary concerns around AI as a general whole is, I mean, one is the cognitive decline that we can invite on our own species, and I mean, that's very much a concern. Another one is the weaponization of AI. I mean, I feel that by democratizing this and putting it in everybody else's hands, I mean, I'm pretty sure that everybody has seen an increase in risk that's coming into your inboxes and text messages and whatnot. And then the third thing for me is very much a component around the environmental costs of this kind of stuff as well. And that's kind of the philosophy that I try to take with this too, is that every time I go and start an AI conversation, I joke that you should turn the temperature in your room up by half a degree and realize that when it starts to get really, really hot in the room, that there is no water left because it's being used to cool those engines, not you. And so, I try and keep those in mind to limit my use that I'm doing on these things. Having said that, I mean, I also know that there are some amazing places where it actually can work very, very well. But, the big philosophy always that I'm trying to run with on these things here is when you're using it, use it to build your solutions. Don't use it to be a solution. And that hopefully
Yes,
will help us, longer term. So those are
eh,
my sort of thoughts. So
exactly. And you can see the latest example of Ray-Bans as well. Yeah. So they built like, I think the specs like this, and they asked it, okay, tell me the infrastructure, who built it, something like this. Yeah. And no one is going to use it. But I really liked how Apple uh, used AI for purposes. Yeah. So they use translator feature in their AirPods, and that is really, really cool, because this is a solution which everyone is facing right now. Let's say I want to talk it in Hindi, but you want to listen in English. Yeah. Someone wants to listen in French. Someone wants to understand in a Spanish way. Yeah. So that is really useful. And that's one of the things that AI can really do well. So I feel like, again, as I told you, many people right now on LinkedIn are sharing these are good things and everything, and I don't believe it, honestly, because those under the hood is just a simple automation in the first place. They are kind of like, you can say that, see, if you build a system, then it is going to be scalable. Yeah. But if you just build something like with AI, that is not going to be scaled in the first place right now. If you are just interacting it with me, so I focus more on this systems part. You can say that building processes, and that's what I've done it for myself. So instead of being used by AI, I want to use it in a way that is really helpful because I couldn't do it in the first place. I might need to hire someone and whom I would be paying $1,000. But again, AI is in a way helping me and maybe my just family. So that is helpful. But again, I'm not going to sell it outside because I know that that has got so many security holes in the first place. So yep.
For sure. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming and doing this, Aditya. I appreciate it. This has been a great discussion. Really enjoyed this. And yeah, I see some comments in here that people also enjoyed it. And I see one Scott suggested we should do this again for sure. So maybe we will make that happen. So thanks again
Yep.
for coming and spending the time. And yeah, I think we'll wrap up for this edition of the meetup group. I will get the recording posted in the next 24 to 48 hours or so. But once again, great chatting with you. I enjoyed the chance to explore this, and also appreciate that you listen to my sides on some of these things as well. Is fantastic. So thanks everyone for coming, and yeah, we'll hopefully see you all again. Don't forget to sign up for the next meetups coming up. So thanks, Aditya. Appreciate it.